Welcome to today's session of CRM Function Online Training. So let's start with what we'll get in today's session of account management. Today's session of account management is divided into 5 parts. In the first part, we'll be looking into business address services, where we'll learn about various types of address types, what is address type, and how we can configure new address types in business, which can be used in account master. Our second topic is account hierarchy, where we'll look into how account hierarchies could be created and how accounts could be assigned to those hierarchy nodes. We'll also learn to configure and know what is account hierarchy category. In our third part, we'll learn how business partners could be exchanged between SAP CRM and SAP ECC system. We'll learn what are the prerequisites for setting up the transfer from ECC to CRM system or CRM to ECC system with respect to business partners. In our fourth part, we'll learn about business partner templates, where we'll learn how the sales area relevant data need not be entered again and again by the end user. Rather, they could be assigned to a template, and that template could be referenced in a business partner. In our fifth part, we'll be learning about contact management. We'll learn what is contacts and how they are used in our account management. So let's get started. Business address services. SAP Business Address Service is used for maintaining business partner address data. You can maintain as many addresses as you like for each business partner. One address for each business partner is always flagged as the standard address. You can define address usages by assigning the different address to relevant business processes. The postal code, the city, and the street can be validated by performing a check against SAP regional structure. You can also use external software to validate the postal data check for duplicates and error tolerance searches. Like you can do a checking for postal codes, cities, streets, and combination of these for consistency. During the check, missing elements are added. For example, if you enter only the city, the postal code could be added. Now, when you create a change in business partner, existing business partner that are phonetically similar are displayed for comparison purpose. This prevents you from creating the same partner more than once. So let's see how we can do the customization for business address service, how we can create new address types, and how you can use them in our business partner. So let's have a look in the system. Let's search for account. Choose Andrew Williams. So here is the address that is maintained, and we have two addresses type maintained as send order and standard address. So what we can do is we can go and edit this address. And here is the assigned address type. We can also add some address type as send bill. So this is the address type. We'll look into how you can maintain address types in configuration. So this is one address and which has been assigned to 3 address types: the send order, standard address, and send bill. So now we'll look in the system how we can create address types and assign. In our SPRO, in cross application components, SAP business partner, basic settings, address dissemination, we have to first create a defined transactions. So let's create a transaction as ZA1 test address. Save the transaction. We go back. We define an address type and we give the address type name as ZA type. ZA address type. Save it. Now what we have to do is we have to assign the transaction type with the address type. So we will assign the transaction type with the address type. So here we have ZA and address type as ZA type. You can also search our address by the F for help. So this is our address type. Press the enter. Let's find our transaction. Ours was ZA1. So our transaction type was ZA1 and address type is ZA type. So we save this combination. We go back. So we'll again go back to Andrew Williams. We'll scroll down to addresses. Click on edit. And we can see the address type. Let's find for our type. It's ZA type. It's populated at the end. And we go back. And here you can see our address types that has been maintained as ZA type, send order, and standard address. So we just created our address type. We created a transaction. We assigned the address type to the transaction. And we are done. And we can use that address type in our accounts. So why do we need an address type? Well, you may have different addresses for receiving goods, for making payments, for storing your goods. For this purpose, you have to maintain different address types. And your addresses for all these address types could be same or could be different. So you can use them accordingly. Now let's have a look into what is account hierarchy. The account hierarchy allows you to map complex organizational structures of a business partner. For example, buying group, cooperative or chain of retail outlets. In contrast to customer hierarchy in SAP ERP, the nodes cannot be equated with the business partner themselves. Rather, the business partners are assigned to the nodes. You can assign as many business partners as you like to a hierarchy node. Customer hierarchies from the SAP ERP system can be loaded into SAP CRM, but the changes that can be made to them are restricted. You can process hierarchies from the SAP ERP system by assigning business partner to the nodes. These business partners are only used in processes in SAP CRM. The data is not transferred to the ERP system. Now you can create account hierarchies in different categories, such as the pricing or statistics category. An account can be assigned several hierarchies from different categories. The account hierarchy is a sales area independent, including its different hierarchy levels and nodes. In an account hierarchy of the pricing category, you can store sales area independent data at each hierarchy level. The account hierarchy allows you to group accounts in multi-level group hierarchy, as you can see in the figure. A time-dependent assignment can be defined from hierarchy node to hierarchy node as well as from account to hierarchy node, which we'll be seeing when we'll be creating account hierarchy of our own. Hierarchy nodes and the dependent objects can be moved within the hierarchy. Hierarchy nodes and the dependent objects can be moved from hierarchy to hierarchy or copied. So let's have a look into how we can create account hierarchy nodes. And first we'll be creating a hierarchy category. In our account management, you can search account hierarchies or create account hierarchies. So first let's search an account hierarchy. So if I see a B2B customer classification tree, so you can see this is one root hierarchy node and below hierarchies have been created. And now in this hierarchy node I have assigned some business partners. Now these assignments have a validity from and validity to. So each hierarchy node has a valid from and valid to dates, and each account assigned to this nodes also have a valid from and valid to dates. So if you click on edit, so if you assign a new business partner, you can change the valid from and valid to date over here. So So let's do it. We're searching for accounts. Assign one account, and you see I have changed the valid form and I saved the account hierarchy. So now let's see how we can create account hierarchy. But before that, let's create a hierarchy category. PRO, Customer Relationship Management, Master Data, Business Partner. I have account hierarchies. So I can define a hierarchy category. So let's create a new category ZA. Give it a name account hierarchy for test. Save it. In our CRM web UI, we'll move to account management. In the create section, we'll click on create account hierarchy. In the pop-up, we have to select the category that we have created, account hierarchy for test. Now we will give a ID and a description, root hierarchy. So click on enter. Then using this node, we can create a node. We'll give it a name 1010. Now over here I can assign accounts. I can change the valid from and valid to dates. So let's change the valid from as, and let's search for account. So we assign one account. Let's create another node. So you can observe that we have a valid from and a valid to date even for a node and even for the accounts. Okay, so it's possible that we have different valid from valid to for the accounts as well as nodes. So you see I have assigned the node for 2010, but I have made the valid form as 2011. So I get the stated period is not in the period of the higher level node. Okay, so this node has a valid from 2010, but the parent node has a validity of 2014. So what we can do is I can go and edit it, so my error goes away. So I click on save. So I can again click on edit hierarchy and click on edit list in assigned accounts and assign some accounts. So the things that we should note is, before we assign an account, we have to select the valid from and valid to. But once my account has been selected, I cannot go back and change the valid from and valid to. Another most important thing that we saw is the parent level node. If that is not valid from, then the lower level nodes should be in sync with the parent level node's validity. Okay, what I meant to say is, if my parent node is valid from 2014 and if the lower level node is valid from 2010, then that's a problem, because the higher level node is not valid when the lower level node was valid, because 2010 is earlier than 2014. But I can have a situation where, let's create another node and I make it 15. I give it name 10101010. Third node. Let's see if this is taken. Assign account. Save it. So while this is quite acceptable that a higher level node have a validity which is earlier than a lower level node, and it's also acceptable that the node's validity is different from the assigned accounts. Okay.
So now let's discuss how the SAP business partner data could be exchanged between the CRM system and ECC system, as the business partner has the different concepts in two different systems. The business partner concept in CRM is more flexible than the customer master in SAP ECC. The business partner role determines the attributes and provide different views of business partner data according to the processes. The data sets are in line with the processes that a business partner can use. The classification determines the mapping to SAP ECC account group. As we know, the classification could be determined from the business partner role category. So a business partner role is assigned to a business partner role category that we've already learned in account management. Now, the classification is derived from this business partner role category. Okay. So the ERP system and SAP CRM system can also incorporate different concepts for the number range assignment, the data display and data usage. Following these, it is not possible to use the business partner role and grouping for mapping to account group. Instead, you must use the classification. In the ERP system, a customer can only be used with the correct account group, for example, sold to party. In SAP CRM, you can use any business partner for a specific purpose, regardless of its role. The only precondition is that you have maintained the necessary data. For example, a business partner can only be used as a sold to party when the pricing data is maintained. Both SAP CRM and ERP have a bidirectional mapping structure between the business partner, and this could be mapped using a transaction PIDE, which we'll be looking into it in the system. Okay, so till now we learned that in SAP ECC we have an account group that controls the number range, the process a customer can be used for, and the field attributes, whereas in CRM we have different concepts. Like we have concept of grouping, which determines the number range. The business partner role determines in which business context it could be assigned, and determine the classification implicitly with regards to data distribution. We have a classification in business partner master data, which controls which account group a business partner could be assigned. Okay. But you have to remember, we cannot define our own classification. Okay, we have to work with the classification that SAP has already provided. So in SAP CRM, the CRM business partner, you can maintain the field account group and override the mapping transaction PIDE. In SAP CRM, the roles sold to party, shipped to party, billed to party, and payer are assigned to the classification customer, and customer is assigned to exactly one account group. Okay, now for data consistency, for distribution, the leading system for creating a business partner must use the internal number assignment. So if you're using the CRM as the leading system, you use the internal number assignment for business partner in CRM and an external number range in the ECC system, and vice versa. Means if you are using ECC as the leading system for business partners, then in ECC we have the number range as internal, and in CRM that must be mapped to external number range. Okay, it is also possible that you have different numbers for the same customer in ECC and in CRM. Synchronization occurs through the middleware. Okay, so identical numbers for the business partner in both systems helps. Okay, but it is an advantage, but it's not a mandatory thing. Okay, so the internal number range within SAP CRM corresponds to an external number assignment in the ECC system. A business partner are given the same number in both systems. Usually, a active ECC system already exists with a defined number range. If an internal number assignment is desired in the ERP system, no further number range are necessary. If an external number assignment occurs in the ERP system as well, the number range must be maintained. The same fields needs to be mandatory in both systems. Otherwise, it is not possible that fields are mandatory on one system but not on the others and not maintained. Okay. So these were some of the prerequisites for consistent distribution of master data.
Okay, so let's have a look into the byte transaction. So we have from CRM to R3 assigned BP classifications to account group. So we have the classification B, which is assigned to account group. So you must be wondering which is this B classification. Okay, so this B classification is assigned to the business partner, account master. We'll look into it. So if I click on the drop down help, you can see what all classifications are there. So A is for consumer, B is for customer, C is for sales prospect, D is for competitor, and E is for consumer person. So this, as I told you, gets automatically assigned to a business partner when it is created from the business partner role category. Okay. Now let's have a look into the second note, that is when a business partner is mapped from R3 to CRM, we can assign the account group to business partner classification. So you see there are no entries over here, which means that in this system the CRM is the leading system from where the business partners are transferred or uploaded to the ECC system. But had it been the other way around, then we have to map the account group with the classification. Okay. So now let's have a look into the CRM system. We go to the business transaction BP, where we'll open a business partner. So we have opened a sold to party in our CRM system, and you can see we have a classification tab in the graphical user interface, and where we have a classification customer. So this is mapped to our account group. So this customer gets automatically checked when we create our business partner with the role sold to party, because we have in also the business partner role category assigned to business partner role, from where it is hard coded to be mapped with a certain classification. Okay. So here we have the screenshots for data exchange from CRM to R3 and R3 for CRM, where you can see the mapping of the CRM classification with the account group and account group with the classification. This is how data is exchanged from CRM to R3 or R3 to CRM. So let's move on to our next topic, templates. So templates can be used to maintain sales area data. So when working with templates in business partner maintenance, the attributes of the data sets are displayed as defined in the template and cannot be changed. A text shown below the Own Data button specifies the origin of data, indicating whether it is derived from a template assigned to a business partner or if it is a business partner's own data. Okay. So the following sales area dependent data sets reference template, which can then be assigned in business partner maintenance: sales, shipping, billing, and blocking reasons. So let's see in the system how we can configure templates and use them in our business partners. In our SPRO IMG, we have to go to Customer Relationship Management. Over there, we have to go to Master Data, Business Partners, and here we have Templates. So as you can see, we have maintained mini templates, assigned mini templates to templates. So in the first step, we have to define the required mini template and enter the corresponding data. These mini templates are independent of sales area and cannot be used for assignment of sales area dependent data. In the second step, we will be combining the sales area dependent mini templates with the sales area independent mini templates with data. So let's first create a maintain mini template. So create template. So First, you have to choose the application object. The application object in case of business partner is UPA. Then you have to go to mini template type. You can see we have CRM billing attributes, billing sales area, sales attribute, then sales area dependent sales attribute. So we have basically sales, billing, shipping and status, of which one is a attribute, which is sales area independent, and then we have a template type, which is sales area dependent. Okay. So first let's create a billing attribute. Let's give it a name Z mini template billing attribute for 2014. Okay, we can write some description over here. Billing attribute template type mini template type. Click on tick mark, so we have a description. Now click on this button and we have the fields where we can maintain customer procedure, the type, the currency, the price list. So let's select some values. Customer procedure, let's select standard. The type, let's select current exchange rate, and the currency, let's select USD. The payment terms, let's select special payment terms. Bulk buyer. In the pricing list, retail. Customer group, development partners. The procedure, billing plan procedure periodic. We don't have any entries for it. Okay, we don't need it. Okay, so let's save it. You have to transport the changes. Let's say yes. Okay, now let's copy this mini template type and we will create another template which would be a template type of sales area dependent. So let's select this and let's give it a name of mini template. S in sales area dependent. Okay, copy this name. So now we have to select a sales area. So you must be remembering what is a sales area. A sales area is a combination of a sales organization, distribution channel and division. As it could be seen, this is a sales area. So let's write some description. So this is a sales area dependent template. We have to select the sales area. So let's select the sales area. Let's select US sales and service. So it tells us to assign a mini template. So let's find a mini template that we can assign. This is a billing. We created this billing attributes mini template type. So what we did right now is we assign the mini template which contains the data with the sales area. So now I click on save. Even transport changes, yes. So we have combined the sales area independent template type which contains the data with the sales area data to this template. Okay, so our mini template type is this. Now what we need to do is we need to go back and we have to assign mini templates to templates. Okay, let's create a new entry and give a template type name as ZT and give it a name ZT template for test. Save the entry. Now by clicking this we can assign template mini templates. Now, what type of template you can assign it over here? Well, we can assign billing sales area dependent template, sales area dependent template, shipping sales area dependent template, or status sales area dependent template. But we have created only one. So let's assign billing sales area dependent template. Click on this tick mark. Now we have to click on new entries. You can see the object is Bupa, is business partner. Template type is sales, CRM sales area data. Template is ZT. Mini template type is billing sales area dependent template. Now we will find all the templates that has been created in the system. Ours is this one, ZMTBA2014S sales area dependent template, and we click on save. Okay, so we are done. We go back. Now we want to test this by creating a business partner. Okay, so in our web UI, let's come to account management, and we would like to create a corporate account. Give it a name Peter, postal code 12345, city CA, country US, and I click on enter. Well, let's assign some role to it, a bill to party role, and let's scroll down to our sales area data. So in our sales area data, you can see we have let's move it up for better visibility. So in our sales area data, you can see I can create a new sales area data or from templates. So I don't want to create it afresh because I have to enter all the data by myself. Let's create it from a template, new from template. So if I click on new from template, I can choose which template do I need. I would select ZT template and I will click OK. So I have sales area data already created. I go into it by clicking on the edit button. So you can see this is how my template looks like. Sales area template ZT is assigned. I have no data for the sales area, no data for shipping area, but yeah, I have my data from billing area. So you can see the data from template ZT template for test explicit assignment to business partner, and I can make changes to this by clicking on own data. If I click on own data, these fields become editable. I still have those data which came from template, and I can make changes as required. Okay, like I can make domestic revenue and I go back and save. So in case I do any modification by clicking on own data, it's no longer references my template. Okay, so any change in template does not affect the data that has been stored by clicking on own data. So by clicking on own data, you are like copying the data from template to the data set, and you can now overwrite the template data with your own data and save it as we did it. So any changes made subsequently to the template are no longer reflected in your business partner. So you can switch back to the reference data by clicking delete own data. So I click on delete own data. So your own data has now get deleted and the template data once again gets displayed. So it again references your template. Click on save and I'm done. So in contact management, we will learn how you can manage contacts in SAP CRM, how you can add existing contacts and new contacts to account, as well as how to edit contacts, how to maintain details of a contact within the contact overview page. We'll also learn to synchronize contacts between SAP CRM and your groupware system. So here we will see the life of David Adams, who has returned from sales visit and needs to update contact information. So David will navigate to his favorite account and update existing contact information. At the same time, David needs to add contacts to the accounts and bring in existing contacts. David also build the relationship between the contacts and accounts. He searches for specific contact information when needed, and David finally synchronizes his contact in SAP CRM with those in his groupware system to stay connected. So let's get started. David has been on several sales visits and needs to update his contact information in SAP. When he logs in SAP CRM, he sees his favorite account PC4U and needs to add additional contacts to it. So David navigates to PC4U account overview page in the favorite section, clicks it. He looks at the contacts block to see the contact David Smith is already listed but is missing some information. So he clicks the edit icon to the David Smith's row. The quick edit screen appears to enter basic information. Here David updates the department and email fields. To link to the overview page, David could have clicked on the contact's name instead of the edit icon. He clicks back to return to the account overview page. Now the fields are updated in the contacts assignment block. Back on the account overview page, David needs to add 2 additional contacts to PC4U. First, he needs to add a person who already has been created in SAP CRM. He clicks the Add button. David uses the search help on the contact field to find his existing contact. He searches by last name is G because he remembers her last name started with a G, and by belonging to me to narrow down the results. David selects contact Mary Green to add for PC4U. He types in some additional data and clicks back. After David navigated back to the overview page, he clicks the new button from the block. A screen opens to fill in some basic data for the new contact. David enters the new contact last name. He then clicks back to return to the account overview page. When he returns to the account page, David saves his updates. He receives a message confirming the saved data and can now see the contact as links in the block. Now that David has updated his contacts from his recent visits, he wants to know how many contacts he has with the various child PC4U accounts. David has several options of where to search for. David goes to the toolbar and clicks to search on contacts by account name. David types in PC to cover all accounts beginning with PC and clicks Go. The search results screen shows contacts that belongs to accounts started with PC. David clicks on the name Carrie Peters with account PC4U Northwest. David could have performed a contact search from the Work Center page by clicking Account and Activities in the navigation bar. David also might have navigated to the contact search page from the Account and Activities list. The contact search page shows the criteria to select from. David navigates to his contact Carrie Peters overview page. He sees there is additional data that can be added. While in edit mode, David updates Carrie Peters' address and communication data. Next, David remembers that while Carrie is a sales manager for PC4U Northwest, she also reports to Mary Green at PC4U Inc. He clicks the report to search help icon. For the search criteria, David enters to search by account name is PC star to give all contacts whose account name starts with PC, then he clicks to search. From the result list, he selects Mary Green's name as the person Carrie reports to. Similarly, David selects a contact that assists Carrie at PC4U for the contact search help to fill the assistant field. David closes the contact details box to see the other blocks below, or he could have scrolled down the page. David opens the marketing attributes block and chooses edit to add a row. Then he selects the attribute set to choose from. Finally, he selects the attribute value that fits the contact and saves. His contact, Kerry Peters, now has up-to-date data. Next, David wants to set up a task to do a competitor comparison for Kerry and PC4U. He clicks New in the planned activities. He selects tasks from the list of activities. His contact Kerry has two addresses, so he closes the one that corresponds to the task. David then uses the search help for the account field to add the account name, types in the description, enters the start and due date, as well as quick note before saving the task. Back on the contact overview page, the new task is in the planned activities block. Lastly, with all of the updates David did today, he wants to make sure his contacts in the SAP CRM and his groupwide system, either Microsoft Outlook or Lotus Notes, are synchronized. He already has been loaded the synchronization software to integrate the two systems under the Personalize button. David navigates to the calendar page. He clicks on the Synchronize groupware icon. It allows access to Microsoft or Lotus Notes and follows the prompts to synchronize. So, we saw how we can manage contacts in the SAP CRM on demand, add existing, create new and edit contacts, maintain details of contact within the contact overview page, create activities assigned to contact from the contact overview page, and finally synchronize contact from your groupware software. So that's all in contact management. Happy learning.